All right, welcome to your personalized deep dive. Today we're going right to the heart of modern AI and tackling this whole challenge of managing and securing these incredibly powerful models that, everyone's building and using now. And you've given us some really, really fascinating stuff to work with here.
Yeah, definitely some thought-provoking material.
Absolutely. Our goal today is to kind of sift through it all and really pull out the key insights without, completely overwhelming you. So just to give us a roadmap, we've got info on two ideas that seem connected but are also kind of distinct: AI gateways and then something called AI guardrails.
Right.
We've also got some details on this platform called Portkey and its features, including this thing called TrustGate. Now, our mission today is to really try to understand the core differences between these approaches. When would you choose one over the other? How do platforms like Portkey actually fit into this whole landscape?
Mhm.
And then we'll kind of round it out by touching on the various aspects of managing and securing AI applications, all based on, of course, what you've provided. All right, so let's kick things off. Let's start with AI gateways. So, what's the deal with these things?
Okay, so imagine this. An AI gateway is basically a comprehensive platform to manage and streamline access to all your AI models. Think of it like a central control hub, a brain for all your AI interactions. It's fascinating how much it actually handles.
Yeah, it's definitely more than just a simple connection point, right?
Right, exactly.
The information highlights several key functions. So first up, we have model deployment. It sounds like this makes getting your AI models up and running across all sorts of different environments much, much simpler and keeps things consistent.
Precisely. Um, you wouldn't want to manually set things up every time you want to use a new model. So the gateway just automates this whole process for you. And this not only saves time and effort, but it also ensures that your models are deployed like in this standardized way, whether that's on, different cloud platforms or within your own systems. This consistency is key for reliable scaling.
Yeah, that makes sense. And then there's this whole API management piece. So this centralizes control over all those requests that are going to your models, which, helps you keep track of usage and even manage costs by setting some limits. That seems pretty crucial, especially with, avoiding budget overruns.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
By having the centralized view, you can really track exactly how your AI models are being used, identify maybe any unusual spikes or anything like that, and then implement those controls to, make sure you're staying within your resources.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Then there's security enforcement, which is, this is a big one. It's all about protecting your AI endpoints with things like authentication, encryption, access controls, all that stuff, all to stop, unwanted visitors.
Yeah, you got to keep the bad guys out.
Exactly. Especially in today's environment, that's got to be top of mind.
Yeah, securing your AI infrastructure it's non-negotiable. I mean, it's essential. So the AI gateway acts as like this, gatekeeper, I guess,
Mm.
ensuring that only like the right people, verified users and applications can even interact with your models in the first place,
Mm.
and that all communication, going back and forth is protected, through encryption and things like that.
Right, right. And finally, we have performance monitoring. So this is all about tracking how quickly the AI is responding, if there are any errors, that kind of thing. So you can make sure everything's running smoothly.
It's like having, the AI's vital signs right there in front of you.
Right. Exactly. You
Yeah,
got to know, is there a bottleneck somewhere? Is there a problem we need to address?
exactly. So by monitoring these performance indicators, you can quickly identify and resolve any issues that might be popping up, right?
Yeah.
Which ensures that your AI applications are dependable and are performing the way they should. This is vital for keeping users happy and maintaining trust in your AI systems.
Makes sense. Makes sense. And you know what? The material even provides this great example, this large e-commerce platform that uses a gateway to manage all those API calls for its different recommendation
Oh
systems.
yeah, that's a good one.
Really kind of brings it home, like how it actually works in the real world.
It does.
Yeah.
Imagine, you've got this e-commerce site with different AI models suggesting products on different pages.
Right.
The AI gateway basically acts as this single point of entry for all those recommendation engines to access, that underlying AI. So it's managing the flow of requests and the security and the overall performance across all of them.
Really cool. Okay, so we've got a pretty good grasp on AI gateways now.
I think so.
Let's look at AI guardrails now. So This is interesting. The information you shared describes these as solutions for more, specific needs,
Hmm.
like ensuring AI is behaving ethically, or filtering certain types of output, especially in those industries where, you've got very strict regulations.
Right. And this is where the key difference really lies, is in the focus. So while, the AI gateway provides this broad overarching management, the AI guardrails are designed for much more targeted interventions. They're about ensuring that AI behavior is aligned with, specific ethical principles or, safety guidelines or even legal requirements.
So it's more like a focused set of rules compared to the wider management role of the gateway.
Exactly, yeah. Think of, guardrails as specific safety measures that you put in place, right? Like, for particular AI applications or use cases, rather than like this comprehensive, platform for all your AI interactions.
That makes sense. So how do you choose which tool is right for you? Well, the material you give us actually helps with this. It suggests that AI gateways are probably best for organizations that need that centralized control, the ability to really scale their AI usage and that robust security across many, many models and applications.
Right.
It's positioned as a more future-proof solution,
Yeah. Yeah.
which I guess makes sense if you're, thinking about larger deployments and things like that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, for bigger, larger enterprises with these, extensive AI deployments, the centralized management, the ability to handle, increasing demands and the strong security that, a gateway offers really provides this comprehensive and sustainable approach.
That makes sense. Now, AI guardrails are presented as the better option for more focused applications, particularly where, you need to stick to very specific ethical standards or, content filtering is just absolutely critical.
Yeah, exactly. Like if you've got, let's say, a particular application where you absolutely need to, prevent the generation of certain types of content or,
Yeah.
adhere to some very, very specific ethical guidelines, then maybe, a dedicated guardrail solution would be the way to go.
Okay. Now, this is where it gets really interesting. The information also mentions their trust gate as this industry-leading AI gateway that kind of goes beyond traditional guardrails.
Okay.
It offers, centralized control, advanced security, and scalability. So it seems like some gateways are now like integrating these guardrail-like
Yeah,
functionalities.
that's a very very important observation. It seems like the lines are starting to blur a little bit between the two.
Right.
So, solutions like TrustGate are aiming to provide, the broad management capabilities of a gateway, while also, incorporating some of those advanced security and control features that you might typically associate with, the guardrails.
Right.
So this trend kind of suggests a move towards these more unified and comprehensive AI management platforms.
hmm
Kind of having everything in one place.
Yeah, it's like the best of both worlds.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So this leads us perfectly into the information about Portkey. And, it seems to have this really interesting mix of features that could relate to both gateway and maybe even guardrail functionalities.
Like,
And this is where it gets really cool, like how these things are actually coming together in a real world platform.
right, right. So looking at the details, we see things like API endpoints for managing users and workspaces, things like creating, accessing, updating, and even deleting them.
hmm
So this definitely points to that centralized management aspect that we've been discussing with the AI gateways.
Right, right. I mean, managing who has access and how it's all organized is like a fundamental part of what a gateway needs to do. It's a
Exactly.
central hub.
We also see a section on providing feedback on AI responses
hmm
with parameters like a trace height and
Yeah.
thumbs up, thumbs down
Yeah.
value.
hmm
And this indicates some sort of mechanism for monitoring and improving, how your AI is actually performing, which again is a core function of the AI gateways.
Yeah, you need to know what's working, what's not working, how people are responding to it.
Absolutely, you need that insight.
Yeah.
So the information goes into detail about how Portkey handles these different kinds of messages, including messages from tools and user messages that might even contain images, and how it transforms them into these formats that providers like Anthropic can understand.
Mhm.
So this really highlights this interoperability and management of different AI models,
Mm,
which is a core aspect of the gateway. It's acting like this universal translator.
that's really cool.
It is.
It's making it much easier to work with all these different models without having to you know, worry about the nitty-gritty technical details of each one.
It is.
Yeah,
It's taking away some of those underlying complexities of interacting with the different AI providers
yeah.
and offering you a more streamlined and consistent experience.
That's awesome. Now, we also see configurations for things like virtual keys, different kinds of caching, including this thing called semantic caching, and automatic retry mechanisms. All these features, really point towards optimizing performance and keeping costs down, and then ensuring reliability when you're interacting with AI models through this central point,
Right.
which is essentially, what a gateway is all about.
Yeah, these are classic gateway functionality. So, virtual keys help manage access to different AI services. Caching reduces the time it takes to get responses and, lowers costs by reusing previous results. And, retry mechanisms improve reliability by automatically trying, failed requests again.
Yeah, that's super helpful. And then there's even this whole load balancing piece across multiple API keys from the same provider, like OpenAI, which is also mentioned.
Hmm.
And this really emphasizes, again, the gateway's role in managing and optimizing AI usage.
Yeah, it's all about efficiency, right?
Right.
So by distributing the requests across multiple keys, you can avoid hitting those rate limits that the AI providers might impose and ensure that your applications remain performant even under a heavy load.
Right, right. That's really smart. Um, okay. Now, the ability to forward custom headers to the model APIs through Portkey, that gives you even more flexibility and control over how you're interacting with these different AI services, right?
It does.
Because sometimes you need that, that extra level of customization.
Yeah, yeah. Different AI providers might require specific headers for certain advanced features,
Right.
and the ability to forward these through the gateway gives you that really fine-grained control.
And then, of course, security is, obviously built in here. Authentication happens through a Portkey API key, for secure access to the platform.
Yeah, absolutely. That Portkey API key is like your digital credential, basically,
Right.
ensuring that only the authorized users can access and manage your AI infrastructure through the platform.
hmm Now, there's this mention of gateway to other APIs and the ability to access any custom provider endpoint through the Portkey API. And that really highlights its role as this central hub for all these different AI interactions.
Mhm.
It's not limited to just like the big, well-known providers.
No, it's not at all. That's a really powerful uh, capability,
Right.
because it extends the utility of the gateway beyond those commonly supported AI services.
Yeah.
It allows you to integrate with more specialized or even in-house AI deployments as well.
Okay, so monitoring performance trends, costs, errors, and how much the platform's being used over time is also a key feature here. And this, again, goes back to that performance monitoring aspect of an AI gateway that we were talking about before.
It does, yeah. You need to be able to see the trends, see how things are evolving over time.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
So tracking these metrics over time gives you this really valuable insight into the efficiency and the cost effectiveness and the reliability of your AI applications,
Right.
allowing you to make informed decisions about optimization and resource allocation.
Right, so you can make adjustments as you go.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, the way that Portkey transforms those OpenAI-style function definitions into a tool format used by Anthropic,
Right.
that's a great example of that interoperability and the abstraction layer that a gateway can provide. It's making all these different systems work together smoothly.
Yeah, it's a perfect illustration of the value a gateway can bring by handling these format conversions behind the scenes. It simplifies the process of using those advanced features like tool calling across different AI providers that might have their own unique implementations.
It's kind of like that That universal adapter that you can use, when you travel to different countries.
Yeah, yeah,
It just
fair.
makes things work. And it supports a ton of providers: OpenAI, Anthropic, Azure OpenAI, Anyscale, Cohere. I mean, this really shows its ability to manage all those interactions across this like diverse AI landscape. It's not limiting you to like one specific ecosystem.
And that's a huge advantage,
Yeah.
because it gives you that flexibility to choose the best models for your particular needs, regardless of, who the underlying provider is,
Right.
all through this consistent interface.
This is where things get really interesting, though, because it brings us back to our earlier discussion about guardrails. We see mentions of platform updates that include new guardrail integrations with PromptFu and Mistral moderations, as well as enhanced capabilities for setting up guardrails using those regular expressions within Portkey itself. So this is a clear indication that Portkey offers those guardrail functionalities on top of its gateway features.
It's not just an AI gateway, right? It's incorporating these guardrail features, and this allows you to manage and secure those AI interactions all from one platform. So, you're addressing those broad, management aspects as well as those, specific safety and compliance requirements.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. And it doesn't stop there. There are features like PII redaction, which is, automatically removing that personally identifiable information from requests and responses, a unified way to handle files and batches across all these different providers, conditional routing of requests, support for controlling the AI's reasoning effort, and improvements to how those streaming responses are handled. I mean, it's mind-blowing how comprehensive this is.
Yeah, I mean these advanced features really highlight the sophistication of this platform.
Right.
PII redaction is essential for protecting, sensitive data. The unified file and batch API simplifies working with all those, different providers' data formats. Conditional routing allows for more precise control over how requests are processed.
Right.
And all the other features just contribute to, better performance, efficiency, and user experience.
Yeah, and then you've got the ability to actually set budget limits on the API keys you're using with those providers and to implement like detailed user roles and permissions. And this really aligns with the governance and cost management aspects of, a really well-rounded AI management platform. It's about keeping things secure, keeping things within budget.
Yeah, governance is so important, especially in larger organizations.
Right.
These features give you the control to manage who can access and use those AI resources and to effectively manage the associated costs.
It makes a lot of sense. And then, to top it all off, it integrates with those popular AI development frameworks like LangChain and LaMeIndex, and it supports all those different, LLM providers and modalities, really solidifying its role as this central point for interacting with, this huge range of AI technologies. Like, it plays really well with the existing, ecosystem.
Right. That's right. It's very compatible with those leading AI tools, and it supports those different data formats. So it's a very versatile solution in today's AI world.
And then specifically, there's this mention of guardrails for embedding requests.
Right.
So it highlights that you can even apply these guardrail principles at the level of those data representations, focusing on things like content moderation and compliance, even at that foundational level.
That's right.
It's like you can make even the underlying data itself safer.
Yeah, and this is a really important layer of security because by applying guardrails to those embedding requests, you can ensure that the very representations of your data adhere to your safety and compliance standards. And this, has implications for all downstream AI applications.
Right. And there's flexibility in how you can configure these guardrails, like to immediately block requests or handle them in a more delayed way. And there are even these feedback mechanisms. It shows you have options in how strict or how immediate that safety enforcement needs to be.
And that flexibility is really key here. You can tailor the behavior of the guardrails to your specific needs.
Right.
Whether you need that immediate blocking of non-compliant content or more asynchronous approach.
Right.
And the feedback mechanisms are crucial as well for continuously monitoring and refining your guardrail configurations.
Yeah, that makes sense. And then finally, just to kind of wrap things up, it even integrates with other like specialized guardrail providers like Pangea and Pillar, which further expands your options for ensuring safety and compliance. It's not just relying on its own, built-in guardrail capabilities.
Yeah, that open and integrated approach is really really valuable. By supporting integrations with these specialized guardrail providers, Portkey offers um, a more comprehensive and customizable solution for your AI safety and compliance needs.
So what does all of this mean for you? Well, it's pretty clear that AI gateways offer this really broad set of capabilities for managing, securing, and making your AI interactions more efficient. They're acting as that central command center for, all your different AI applications and models.
Yeah, and AI guardrails they provide this more targeted approach for addressing those specific safety and ethical concerns. Making sure that the AI's output meets your standards.
Right, exactly. And platforms like Portkey, with features like Trustgate, seem to be combining those two worlds, offering this really comprehensive solution for managing and securing AI applications across different providers and models. It's like simplifying your AI infrastructure by giving you this unified control plane.
And the fact that it integrates with all these different AI models and development tools means that you can, continue using your existing AI investments and still benefit from these centralized management and security features.
Right, it's not an all or nothing approach.
No, no, not at all.
All right, well, that was our deep dive into AI gateways, guardrails, and platforms like Portkey. We hope this has given you a clearer picture of how these concepts work, how they're different, how they overlap, and ultimately how they can help you manage your AI projects more effectively. I mean, we covered a lot: deployment, API management, security, monitoring, even cost control.
Yeah, this field is constantly evolving. So staying informed about these different approaches and the capabilities of platforms that are integrating them is really crucial as you navigate the world of AI.
Absolutely. We'd love to hear what stood out to you from this discussion. Are there any areas that you'd like to explore in more detail? Or what are some of the challenges that you're currently facing when it comes to managing your own AI applications? Feel free to share your thoughts and questions with us.
Hello to Tech Unplugged podcast.
Thank you for listening, and stay tuned for more deep dives into the technologies shaping our world.